The next thing we're going to talk about is breathing. Breathing is a very important part of playing the saxophone because that is where the sound begins. The sound doesn't begin in the saxophone, it actually begins in our breath. So let me show you a little bit about how the lungs work. A lot of times when we breathe, we'd like to bring our shoulders up, and that usually just has bad results. It gives us tension in our neck, it doesn't help us play better, and it only fills up half of our lungs. But if we're filling up our lungs to their full capacity, we're going to start all the way from the bottom and fill it to the top. Kind of like water pouring into a glass. Let me show you. So if this cup is like our lungs and the water is like air, first it goes into the bottom and then it fills up, going all the way up. So when you breathe, you want to take a deep breath in through your mouth, and the air first goes all the way down here to the bottom of your lungs. So I'm going to hold my hands here, and you can probably see my body expand, kind of like a glass of water, starting at the bottom and going to the top. So I'll breathe in right now. So you can see it expands here first, and then slowly my upper body expands little by little, ending at the top. And at the end I have a full reservoir of air to use for when I'm playing. So maybe practice that a couple times. And just blow out naturally. And what you want to do when you're breathing in is have your mouth relaxed and open, like you're saying ah. Ah. So when you're breathing in, have a nice open throat, like you're saying ah. You don't have to stick your tongue out like at the doctor, but just say a nice ah, and then keep that shape and breathe in. Ah. Okay, and you'll see it's expanding not only in the front of my body, but I'm putting my thumbs in my back because I can also feel my back expanding as I go up. So you want to fill those lungs all the way through the body, all the way from the bottom to the top. Now, when you're breathing out, that's obviously a very important part of playing the saxophone. And you want to use warm air as you're breathing out. Now, if you blow on your hand and say like an ooh with an ooh shape of your mouth, that's very cool air. Why don't you just try that with me? You can feel it's kind of a nice cool breeze. But when you're fogging up a window, let's say, you usually say, so if you try that on your hand, like you're fogging up a mirror or a window, you can kind of feel the warmer temperature. Why don't you try that? And so that warm air is the type of air that we want to use when we're playing the saxophone. So take a deep breath in again, feeling the bottom of your lungs right here, and breathe out, kind of saying ah, and feeling the warm air coming out through your throat and through your mouth. Maybe try it with one hand. Now, if you start yawning right now, that's okay. That just means your body is your throat is opening up and your body is starting to take in more oxygen. So let's do a couple of exercises with breathing. You can put your hands here or you don't have to. Stay really relaxed and take a deep breath in for 4 counts and then breathe out for 8 counts. So I'll tap a beat right here. In for 4, 2, ready, go. So I breathed out for 8 counts. That might have been a little bit challenging. You might have run out of breath beforehand, but let's try it again and try to pace yourself as you breathe out to see if you can get a constant stream of air coming out for the full 8 counts. So breathing in for 4 and out for 8. In for 4, ready, go. 3, 4, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So try that exercise on your own a few times to start being able to really control your breathing. And you should never be tense. You should never raise your shoulders like this. You should never tense your jaw and do these kind of things when you're breathing. Just always really relaxed, just as relaxed as if you were sleeping or lying down to relax and watch TV and letting your breath kind of go in a natural way. That's the way that you want to breathe, but you want to support the sound and support the air that's producing that sound with your breath. One more important thing to remember about your breath is that you're using your diaphragm muscle, and that muscle is at the bottom of your lungs as well. That's why we fill our lungs from the bottom up. And that muscle engages in the front and the back. So when you hold the sides like this and do these breathing exercises, you want to feel how that muscle is pushing the air slowly out through the lungs, the throat, and the mouth. And when you're controlling the air for 8 counts, you can really do that with this diaphragm muscle that's right here. Let's try an exercise where we're doing short bursts of air so you can really feel the diaphragm kind of pulsing. So I'm going to breathe in for 4, and then I'm going to say ha 4 times. So like this. Ready? And ha, 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 ha. Okay, so I went a little bit faster to kind of feel the rhythm of the diaphragm, but you can see as I say ha, my stomach goes in like this. Ha, 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 ha. And that's really engaging that diaphragm muscle and kind of teaching it how to get behind the air. And we want to have that muscle controlling and pushing the air through the lungs and through the throat and through the mouth and through the saxophone the entire time. So let's just do one more breathing exercise. In for 2 beats, a quicker breath, and out for 8, really thinking about that diaphragm pushing the air out. So here we go. Ready? And 5, 6, 7, 8. So try those exercises on your own and really work on getting the breath flowing in a really comfortable, natural, and supported way.